Ooh, this could be it. What is up, y'all? Thank you for joining. I'm just looking through songs. See if I can find a theme song for the To Be Frank's channel. Maybe this one is it. We're gonna start. This was kind of fun. How are y'all doing? We're just letting all the notifications go out. I will be live in Discord to chat with y'all, and I'll also be watching the chat. Now, it took a long time to find Tank Radio song. Oh, this is too slow. Now we're just waiting for 1 minute pass and we'll go ahead and start. Nope. Excuse me. Oh well. Here we go. What is up, y'all? I'm just gonna have to keep searching for songs later. We are gonna be doing some live coding. We're gonna be having some fun, and I am gonna give a hint, kind of what I've been working on this week. Is this the right thing? Maybe, maybe not. No. Well, yes. All right, all right. I have also started using Git for my own repos. Just for y'all to know, also, I'm over sitting in the Discord. The link is in the Discord is in the chat or description. I'm sorry, and let me go ahead and get the window ready for Discord so you can see me over there. Boom, bam. All done. Perfect. All right. All right. I hope y'all's Wednesday is going well. I hope y'all had a good rest of the week. And I'm just pulling my repo and making sure everything is here. Sweet. What is up? I am going to go ahead and, as always, Discord's open. If you join me in the Discord, to be able to chat with me live. And I am about ready here. I did not set up that scene. Code still doesn't see my window. Visual Studio. Bam, bam. There it is. And we need our reference window. Where's our VS Code? Da, 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 da. There it is. All right, all right, all right, all right. Things are set up. What is up? Bang. So, let me go ahead and kind of start off what I've been doing. Since I've been uploading logs lately, I've been dealing with ADA files, and since ADA itself is just a spec, and specs are fun, and I thought it'd be fun to write a ADA parser. And I do have an idea what I want to do after we get the parser written and writing and I'm not gonna tell y'all that yet. However, that's what I kind of been working on, and let me go ahead and show you the code. Oh, I need to turn that off. Yeah, alright. Transition. Here we go. So, yeah, that's just large here. As far as our reference windows, there is adaf.org. adaf.org is a place that specs the ADAF files, and ADAF, actually, I learned this recently, is amateur data in interchange format. That's pretty cool. So you can go here, and we're going to be working on the 3.1.5 spec. And I got it twice just because it's nice to have double reference windows sometimes. Let me move that here, move this there, just cleaning up my windows a bit so I can see the chat and see who's in the Discord. Woot! What is up? I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. And let me just kind of show what I've been doing here. The main itself is fairly clean. We're just going to pass arguments into it right now. I'm going to build a GUI later, but this initial project is just using arguments. We have a factory. I like factories. Factories are pretty cool. And a payload, ADAF payload, and that's the, once we're done parsing the file, it's going to have all the ADAF files and elements for us to look up and get the data out of it. And we're looping through argc, and as for everything from 1 on from argc, we are going to take that as a file itself, and then we're going to go ahead and send it to the factory to load it. And we tell it the load was successful, load was fail. Or if you come in here and we look at this statement, if arguments is less than 1 or equal to 1, that means you didn't launch me with an argument, and we go ahead and just fail out nicely. Yeah, and with a good user message. I haven't implemented user messages yet as far as parsing errors and a way to track what line and fields are wrong. I will do that once I start writing more of the validation classes, which I kind of have an idea of what I want to do here with the validation class itself. The factory class, boom, is kind of implemented here. We take the file as a string. You pass in a payload that you want to be filled out. We open the file. We read the header, and then it just says header read or not. I am intending to use this also to load different versions of the spec. So that we can do load specific version. If you say this is version 3.1, we can go ahead and load version 3.1, or we'll just update it to the current version, but we got to know what increments to do on the way up. So that's what this factory is for. The factory is going to manage all that for us. And so the simple caller, just like a factory does, handles all that for you. You just give it the object thing that you want out. You tell it what to load, and it loads it. And it's all static. I kind of want static happy here. I'm not messing with the factory today. We'll see that more in a bit. I really need to rename this class because I thought it was a 3.14, but I'm working on 3.15 spec. So let's just go ahead and rename that, compile, find the errors, and continue on from there. Save that, and then of course we got to rename the class. When we rename the class, we rename the files, not remove. So everything is nice together. And I probably will be doing the deprecating logic all later because, yeah, I only have one spec right now, so I don't need to worry about that. I might do that later by implementing like 3.0 or 2 just for funsies. That's good. I don't have a lot of that there. That's happy. Let's go ahead and build and see where it fails. That's the best way of coding. Build and see where it fails. Boom. No such file or directory because it's been renamed. You've been renamed. And I think everything else is fine. Build. Interesting. You can't see the pop-up menus. I wonder if that's something to do with how I got the window. Let's just poke that real fast. Blah, blah, blah. Capture mode automatic. Let's do Windows 10. Maybe that will give us the Windows. Nope. And bit. Oh, okay. Just different ways. Capture beta. Nope. Force. Oh, okay. There we go. No pop-up. Oh well. Okay. So right now I have parsing of the header working. And we have 8 of elements, and the element is just the field themselves. That's a field. That's a field. Oh wait, this is the enum. Scroll down. Data types, fields. Here's a field for the header. And I just hard-coded the header. Let's look at payloads. Payload actually needs to be upgraded, but right now he's in the ADF data file. Payloads is pretty much the payload of everything. The header. The header structure, we have the version, the timestamp, program ID, program version, and I was tweaking this yesterday. And it's user def is a user defined field that they could put into the records. I don't know who really uses that, but it's there, and you can have a n number of them as long as it's a positive integer. And so what better way to do that with a list? And we went ahead and used the list. So this will be looping through those fields for what the value is. I might... No, yeah, that's right. Looping through those fields because that field definition contains not user def, but the value of it is a common list, a key to a value list, and that key is the tag, and the value is kind of restraints it has on that. And then I started implementing this yesterday. And how I'm thinking about doing all this. Okay, we can close you for now. I want to kind of have you there. Payload, I kind of like payload. We're going to shove it to the other side and just move it there. We might make this a little bit bigger. Now you can't see it. That's fine though. We can hide the reference for now because we're not using it. Boom. All right. Boom, boom, boom. And tag definitions is the tag strings to be declared. Nope. I want to move. There we go. As we can see, they're broken up into data types, delimiters, what keys they have for tags. So all the tags start with kind of like XML and HTML. The tags start with a less than and end with a greater than. Internally, they have some delimiters in their fields, and I got that defined out. And then as I come across new type definitions, the types letters are here. And here's all the tags for the headers. And here's all the tags I've done so far for records. And I'm just planning to keep adding to this list as I keep going. Excuse me. I had a Coke before coming up here. And here is the a character map of all the types. So this is data type character lookup map. So I can say, hey, what type is this? And it returns that type, so I can easily reference that type later when parsing these fields. So instead of just having a one giant switch, which is a way to do it, but I find adding to a map much easier for updating later than remembering where all the switches are. So I haven't coded it yet, but there will probably be a function here that will take and look up a value that you give it and return the data type. And that would be simple 3 or 4 lines, but then I don't have to worry about adding switches anytime I add a new data type, which we'll probably do later today. We just add it to this map, and then everybody inherits that lookup. And if they care for that type, they can handle that type correctly. In payloads, for a record, I haven't really started parsing that yet, but I'm probably going to have some type of list just to shove everything in there, and we'll maybe have, yeah, just a list to shove everything in there. Where is the enum? I'm missing the enum. 8f tags. Here we go. 8f tags has an enum for the data types, and then a enum for the tag numbers. So this is just an internal enum that we're creating to make fast lookup for each of these values much faster than string comparison. So we'll have a quick lookup when we read the data, we put the enum in there, and boom, Bob's your uncle. We can do fast lookups. And then I'm creating a table down here, which is a data type to enum list of which fields are that data type. And I might do an inverse lookup table later to dynamically create it off of this table, so we can have faster lookup speeds for this tag. What data type is it? Or we can look through the data types and see which tags are that data type. Not, yeah. I kind of sold on there, but not sold. And when I'm adding header parser, we want source code. Yep. No, not the header. I want the source code to this. Boom. Here's the tedious part. Anytime we do a new field with my current setup, and I'm not quite sold on it, let's do... I haven't implemented the numerations yet or the multi-line read-in yet. That might be something to do later, and it's fun. The last one I did was antenna elevation. The next one is going to be numeration of a signal path. So copy that. So we'll go through here. I'm just pinning those, so look up later. New record, all right, and this will be a new define. And I like to kind of, abbreviations are all right. And in a common field where you have a lot of abbreviations, like when I was doing defense contracting, there were abbreviations everywhere. Sometimes I spelled them out, but if they're like obvious off the bat, ant for antenna, yeah, kind of. It's fine, but I usually prefer to spell it out, and just because it's my code, and right now I'm just spelling them out. Antenna path, and then we do tag string, and boom, copy that, and we go in here, we add it here, and it's no longer a string. It is a antenna path tag, and that is a enumeration, which I already went ahead and did the enumerations here. And I made my enums classes, so it forces you to put the scope resolution on it and the class. So anytime you use these guys, you have to use that, unless you do a using around this, then you don't have to do it each time. But I like forcing scope on things. And then we gotta add it over here. Now this is a little tedious. And I was trying to think of a way to make this faster. And that's what I'm going to try to do today. Let me go ahead and save everything here, and then we're going to go to Git. And we're just going to push these changes with an added, what is it? Antenna path. Yeah, we're just going to push these changes so we'll have them. Boom. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to refactor. Refactoring is fun. And for the refactor, I'm going to get rid of these maps because I kind of find them redundant. And I don't like doing that. That's 3 steps of adding something new. Put it here, 4 steps. What's data type is down here. Strings are all over the place. I'm storing everything as a string, so strings are default. Again, go into the tag path, put it there, and yeah. So there's a lot of little places to update, and I was kind of finding that annoying. And I was trying to think of a way to get around that. And I'm thinking of adding properties. So each element has properties. Is it a header or is it a record property? Is it which field it is out of our enum list? This list. And what type of data type it is. And then we can do a map to look up each individual element and then find its properties of that element. And then our spec can read all the elements that are supported because we throw that in a list of some type. And then we can easily loot through the list. What's up, Chris? How you doing? And I just like building mechanics like this. So anytime you add something new, everything kind of gets it for free. And if they care about it, then you go ahead and implement the code that cares about it. And then you don't have to worry about how many switch statements are around here you got to update. If I make the record able to just handle anything that's in this list, then I don't have to worry about updating the code that we read it in and everything. So that's why I'm trying to figure out how to do this kind of nicely. And where did my windows go? Coding. There it is. Coding. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go try the properties to see if that works. So what would the best way to do this with a new file? New, browse. And I have my header set up kind of uniquely. There was a previous live stream I talked about that. If y'all are curious, I will go through it again. And I'm going to call this ADIF tag props. I'll shorten that because properties is long. And how we're going to do this. First, a struct to define what our properties are. It takes a second for all that to fill in. And I want nut tags ADIF tags. I don't want tag defs. ADIF tags. Do I need payload? I don't think I need payload. ADIF tags. .h. Be happy. ADIF tag data. ADIF tags. There we go. And we want to know the data type. Then we want to know what data itself is, tag enum. Tag. Then we want to know, let's do it a Boolean. Is header. We can set that somehow. We can bake it into it too if we want to. Oh, thank you very much, Susan. Or I'm sorry, Sarah. Sarah's saying, I love how you narrate everything understandably. Coding isn't exactly my niche, but it's fun to watch. Thank you. I appreciate that. To be honest, sometimes I talk to myself when I'm working like this. Hey, let's do that. Let's do that. That sounds like fun. Oh, we need to name this thing tag props. Spell it correctly, Frank. There we go. And we could do a setter on this. No, I'll do something with this. Maybe make it a function. There's a C missing. Yeah, close enough. And it's a question. Make function? Question mark? What else do I want to do on this? Tag value is header, because that's what I was keeping track of with these two maps. Is it a header or is it that? I don't want to. Let's just see how this works. Blah, 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 blah. I want to put it in an unordered map because unordered maps are working with hashes and it gives you a faster lookup time. You do pay a little bit of penalty calculating that hash. However, if your hash is a numerator or a number, then it's already a number. And but unordered maps have to be unique. Unique. Do we want to type def this? No, we do want it static. That means we're just going to put it in memory once, and anytime someone references it, it's the same memory location. Unordered map, and our key is going to be the tag, right? The thing. Yep. And then the property. But then that's property twice. Oh well, who cares? It's only another 16 bits. And how many gigs we have in our memory already? Today's. And we're going to call it ADIF tag props map. Because that's what it is. And then we are going to declare it in line. Here. So that means for every one of our things we already have created, all of these guys, blah, copy. We need to put it in here, paste. So what would be the best way to do this? So here's my header tags. So let's just do the first one. See how this looks. So we're creating this up right. There's our key. Yeah, it's yelling at us. We'll correct that later. And now we have the struct here, which we're doing a constructor list. That's what these are, is creating the that element, that variable within this constructor list, because we're seeding it with the constructor list or the constructor itself for the unordered map, which takes the key values and as a map, which we're creating. So then on this thing, we have to do it twice. That might get annoying. Our data type. What's our data type for version? I think these are all strings. Well, shoot. I wasn't going to add a string, but I guess I need a string. And let's just type it out. Data type string. Be happy. Data types is in tags. Why aren't... Oh, it's an S. There, that's happy. And I need to make this guy happy, defining its scope or class. Boom, boom. So this is our first one for our ADIF version tag. It is a string. It has other information which we don't care about. We'll write the parser for it. At this point, the parser doesn't care about what is actually there other than the type. And then we're creating this guy. And oh, we forgot the question is header. Is header, is header, is header, is header. Do I want to fill these out here? True. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Majority of our tags are records. So if we make it false by default, then we only have to flip it for the records that are not, or for the tags that are not a header. Copy that line, paste it, and then we're going to shore this up generically. That means that guy's gone. That guy's gone. Since we're going to be focusing on the headers, header types are all strings from the spec. String, 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 string. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we copy it 5 times, but we already have 1 created, 2 created, so 3 more times. Who said there's no copy and pasting in this? Because there is. Go away. Go away. You were meant to be deleted. Okay, from here, we're going to create a... The second one is create timestamp, created timestamp. And there. The next one is program tag. The next one's program version. And the final one is user def. All right. That means everything's happy here. Except this squiggly guy. Why is that squiggly guy not happy? Okay, he did not like the last comma. Sometimes they like them, sometimes they don't. Alright, so now we got this property box for those. Screw it. Let's do the body too. Header properties. Record properties. And this is just kind of nice sectioning the code off. For the headers, I'm sorry, for the record, we don't need this true because they default to false. These are the same again, and how many I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we copy and paste this 6 more times. Think that was right. That feels right. Be destructive here. We got those done. I like destructive coding. Delete it! When all the red is gone, then we will be happy. Oh, but these are all not strings anymore. We have to... Oh, here's a cool trick. I'm selecting all the strings, delete, and it deletes off of multiple lines. Oh, wow. How did he do it? Shift-Alt. Escape. In some programs, you can hold Shift and hold Alt, and then your cursor will act as a multi-line selector and just kind of create a box, like you drag a box over. And then you select multiple lines within that box, and then you can change that whole line at once. So if I type LOL, Chris, because he laughed out loud, I see your chat, then it types it across all the multiple lines. So that is pretty cool. And when you need to use it, it's not useful all the time, but when you use it, it's cool. It's cool. See, and I just fixed all that. All right. So address tag. If we scroll down to our list here is a multi-line. I am going to delete that. The reason why is when I do the second, it's not a semicolon, colon, then IntelliSense will pop up now here, and I can type it out. Oh. Oops. That was supposed to be data types, not tag enum. Paste. Look at that! Oh my god, he's amazing! Multi-line. Here we go. Oh, this was supposed to be multi-line. And when you hear programmers say it was a copy and paste error, it's usually because we're doing something like this, and there's multiple updates, and we missed something while we're trying to update it. Boom. This is not implemented yet, but I'm just seeding the seeds for it. Now it's the multi-line. I haven't created the multi-line yet because it's kind of funky. What's up, Jason? Copy and paste inheritance. Yep. That's kind of what it is. All right. So this guy, age tag is a number. Alt path is a number also. And I'm supposed to be destructive, so anytime I do one of these, delete it. So then it shows us where we are in this. This is also a number. Antenna evaluation. I see the message. I'll get there in a second. Sorry I'm late to the party, but just rounded. Ooh. Thank you for joining. Jason says, sorry I'm late to the party, but just got around. Not a coder, but I'll help out with the views. Thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate it. We're just coding, and you can watch just to see how coding works and the numerous mistakes we make as a coder. And it should give you a sense of trust that you give to AIs. If a human can't code it right, what do you think an AI will do? Enumerations are gonna be fun later. Let's do that, and let's just see if we can parse out any of the. Oh, these fields are not in my example. Can I read the example? No, it's not here. I gotta open it up in something else. Save that. Let me open up my example. Did not do a no, I need a dev folder, ADIF helper, test data. Boom. And there we go. Here is the test data. And right, now I am parsing these fields. I actually wrote this field, so I have something that user def uses. It wasn't in mine initially. Here's the end of record for the header, and here is some boxes that are used. But I haven't gotten down that far. This list is huge. Look how many tags are there. So I want to know how this is kind of working. So we might just get down to the sent and received and call. And just so that we can start trying to load a record here. Do-do-do-do, boop. All right, so let's find call. Call. That is a CL. There we go. Boom. Just so we get a feel for how this new system works. We come down here. We need to define the tag. And I'm just putting this in a separate field so I know this is out of order. And when I do them all in alphabetical order, they can fall in alphabetical order. Call tag string. And it's called. Call is a string. Cool. We don't have to define a new type. Then copy that guy. Come in here and create the tag. And I need a semicolon. And this list becomes superfluous. So let's get. All right. I am just going to comment it out. I want to delete it, but I was going to, in the end, comment it out. Control C. I thought it was Alt, but it's Control C. That's not used anymore. I don't have to keep it updated for now. Save that file. Then, in my payloads, I don't need to worry about the payload. Let's move that over a bit because we're working with this guy. Bloop, 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 bloop. And only 3 areas. 3 different files need to be updated. That's not too bad. And I did it in different files, so if you don't need the properties, you don't include them. I'm going to be exporting the properties, maybe. The tags, though, will be exportable, so the payload is exportable, and exportable is, since this project here is a library, and this is our actual executable, so this library is going to be able to be sucked up by any executable at compiling time right now. So that's why some things I'm going to have be exportable and other things not. There we go. There's the call tag, and now we need to do the call tag again. And its data type is string. Data types string. And where's receive? I want to do receive too. Are sent and received. We're just going to do those simultaneously together. Copy paste. Copy paste. All right. Delete that, save, and then we just make those 3 changes again. And I'm going to use that same nifty shortcut, define RST sent underscore, and then this is where it's going to be different. Receive just before sent. RST receive. I don't want underscores here. Tag string. There we go. And this guy. sent tag string. Then I can take this and I do a little cleanup. And they go here. And finally in properties. I'll slam it to the end here, just as a temporary. And these two are both strings, so we can just copy and paste that and just fix the tag. Chris says, all software that writes out 8F tends to vary wildly in the output. Case sensitive spacing, user defined fields, etc. Yep. Because, well, it's from the spec. It shouldn't be that much different. I did notice the spec did not cause or call out like each line is an individual tag. So you can have all these lines together, and I need to do one test for that. Right now I am coded so that each one of these is a line read. And I'm thinking about doing, instead of reading each line up 256 characters, reading in probably like 1,000 characters, including the end lines, just do a read for that many, then write my parser that just goes through and finds tags, reads the length of the next guy, and boom. Tags, reads the length, boom. Tag, read the length, boom. And then just sort it all out. We'll see. We will see. Zombie, what is up, man? How you doing? Who's calling me? Spam risk. Let it screen. Probably no one. Okay. So, that being said, I have a couple of these done. So what I want to do is I kind of want to get rid of this list. They hung up. Cool. But if I do how do I want to do this? I want to get rid of this list, so I just smash it again. Unfortunately, the code underneath that uses it wants it. Let me open up the base map class and create a new constructor that is empty. You know what? Do we just want to break it all? Break it all! Ah! What did we do? Toggle to your header. Get rid of this constructor. It's empty now. Okay. And these are all consts. User defined needs to be updated. I was thinking about having this created on the fly. If we do this, they can't be const. We get rid of them. I like const, then they can't be touched. However, yeah. Alright. I'll just clean that up, give some spacing. Then go back here, blah, finds, all those are good. So, however, our maps are now empty. So what we're going to do is, so this is an enum. This enum is set up in such a way, let me get rid of, this enum of all my tags is set up in such a way that the special case tags or empty lines are negative. The positive values, till the end of tag header, these are all tags for headers, and then any value between this and this guy is all my records tags. So that's set up in kind of a logical way, which is nice. However, I'm not going to loop through that way. I am going to come here, pound include ADIF parser. Come on, give me the lookup. ADIF data ADIF props dot h. Oh, I misnamed it. I added an extra letter. There we go. ADIF tag props dot h. Why can't you still find it? Tags. Rename again. ADIF tag props. There we go. All right. We got it. We get this guy. In our constructor, we're going to do a for each. And auto reference is it's going to create a reference, and a reference is a kind of a pointer that is not a pointer. And if you just do this for each of this map without the reference, then it's going to copy those elements each and every time and create time copying. So I don't want that copy to happen, so that's why I'm not using it. So that's why I'm referencing it, and we're just going to call it element or props. Element props. Props. Shorter, easier, boom. Everything's happy. So each one of these things, this line, 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 individually. Then we're going to check the props dot. Ooh. Since it's a map, first is the key. The second is the value. The value is the struct itself. So dot is header. And if it is a header, we are going to put that tag in the headers tag. And what is our headers tags? Boom. I forgot the map of this. Just let me remember it. String to the enum. I don't like that because the string is not saved. Do I need a map of strings to enums? Strings to enums. If I pull this defs in here, then I will have to do it. You're still here, Jason. What is up, man? Hit that thumbs up. Yep, I do agree. We're coming up on the 1 o'clock, so I'm going to try to finish this up here. What we're losing here is the string name itself to the element tag. And I was doing that mapping there. I could do that mapping here, but that just means it's another thing to do, and I don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. Can I put it in the properties? I could put it in the properties, but that means, well, if you're already using these properties, you already should know what the tag defs are, so we'll put it here. And I forgot the... Hold on, let me just finish typing this out. ADIF tag defs. Defs.h. Be happy is happy. And then we're going to do string tag string Yep, and then all these are angry now because we need strings in them. You know, I might make this const. Once it's created, no one can touch any of these elements. Yes, 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 yes. So we are... Oh, this is going to be not fun, not fun, not fun. Destructively. Copy. And come here, paste. And the first one, we're not doing the end of anythings. All right. Version. So boom, boom. Data type after data type, comma, that. You're gone. Created after data type, you're gone. And I like this method because it's storing everything in properties. Every time we add something, we touch these files, but then all these files are kind of located together. And if we have one giant property map, that means that one giant property map needs to be updated and touched. We know where that is, so we're not touching multiple things. We come in here, define the tag, boom. Then we put it in this giant list, boom. Then finally, see, I was kind of doing that down here, but then I'm taking that information and storing it in here. I'm also taking those other maps we destroyed out of the ADEF version, so it's all in one map, one property location. So when we look it up, a single one, we know we know where it is, and we know everything about it. We don't have to keep referencing other things. User-defined fields, user-defined fields. And that handles all of the header properties. So I can delete this. This is why I like destructive. Once you update it, you remove it, and now you see everything that is happy. Boom, 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 multi-line, comma, that guy. String address. String address, boom, 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 after that, that guy. Age, boom, comma, that guy. Altitude, I cut, you're gone. You're gone now. And this is also why refactoring takes a while. And when managers hear the word refactor, they run away screaming because they know it's going to take a while. But in my opinion, your code comes out stronger. And mine, I think it will be coming out stronger because we don't have to update as many locations for new versions. We just have to update 3 files, then everything inherits it, and the underlying mechanics just do it. There it is. But Frank, if you want to find the string to the enum, how you're going to do that? I'm glad you asked that question. I am going to create a inverse map dynamically somehow. In the map, this guy. Since all the versions is going to inherit from this base, so this base has the get header tag, get header, get record tags. Here is the string to enums for each one of these. So here we're looping through all this. If it is a header, we go to the header dot. We can do add. No, we're creating it. So this is what we're going to do. Properties dot second, because we're referencing the second. Then we're going to say it's tag, because the tag is the key. That guy now equals Let me just make sure I did that right. Yeah, enum tag. No, I did not. Its first is a string. The tag string. Its second here is going to be the properties second dot tag. Boom. This will dynamically give us we ran once. Anytime we create one of these things, run real fast at the beginning and create this list, and we don't have to update the tag list inside the base class because it's updated here and this is generated at runtime. It would be nice to do it compilation, but we can't do it compilation. Records. And we have now the inverse lookup, and we don't have to manually update it anytime we create a new thing. So we removed another list we were maintaining. So much nicer. And let's go ahead and use the header parser just to see how this works. And we'll leave it off there. I can go ahead and do the output window once it comes up. It'll probably pop up here in a second. There was an error. We got to do the errors list. 5 hexadecimal is illegal. Ooh. It is trying to compile this file. Where it is in here. I don't have that turned on. It shoved it in here somewhere. References? No. Where did it put it in my list? I don't see it. It's trying to compile it and it's not compilable. CPP CPP external. There is an option which I'm going to go find that we can instantly know where it's at. And if I can find it, I usually have to dig for it. Project and solutions. General locations. Nope. Project settings. Nope. General. Oh, it is moving. Oh, just because it's in here, it's trying to compile it? I didn't know that. That's stupid. That is really stupid. Okay. So we have an issue. Nothing is perfect the first time. I'm still trying to call it with the map creator, the base class. Technically, we don't need this anymore, so we'll just get rid of it and compile this again. And success. Wow. That was kind of fast. Properties. What is going on? Oh, that argument didn't come across. Okay. We need to point to our file. You can't see what I'm typing. Interesting. I'm surprised that did not pop up. I'm just going to do this real fast. Solution directory test data, comma, my file name. Remember how I said earlier, oops, this was scanning what you pass to it for a file. I'm just setting my debugger to always do that. We'll just come over here to main. I want main here. Because for me, I code, this is my reference window. Usually put H files in it. I usually try not to code in there too much. Let's just put a breakpoint there. And now we see the number of arguments is 2. An argument array, the first thing on this list is the path to the Ada file. Boom, boom, boom. I print it out. Ooh, let's unlock that window. See if we can make it bigger for y'all. This guy. Womp. Down here. The file that we're loading is d blah 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 was. That's that print statement right there. Then we come into the factory. That's not what I wanted. There we go. We come into the factory. Let's remove this guy to make our window bigger. Open the file. Is the file open? Good. Cool. We create our header file. We go into our factory. What's up, Bill? How you doing, Bill? And then the factory checks the file is good, creates our element, creates our which ADA that we're going to try to parse it with. We're always going to parse the header with the always highest level. At least that's how I'm going to do it. I would like to do it generically, but I don't want to write another unique class just to scan for one line. That would be kind of wasteful. Get element. So now we're in the parse header class. So this class is just responsible for parsing headers. And we're reading an element. This is just a generic class that takes a file string and an element. An element is just a struct of 3 values: tag, value, tag string. We set it to error, clear everything out, because that's what you do. Make sure your return values are stale or sanitary. Read up to 250 characters, or create a line. I'm going to read up to 250 characters. Size, ooh, I don't think I use that anymore. No, actually I do down here, but that was something I was dealing with, but got rid of it. It's good. Check our first character, make sure it's a delimiter. Then we are just finding the length delimiter. Boom, boom, and then making sure not in a tag. We're just doing some string parsing. I'm not going to talk over each thing here, but we just want to show the first thing that we scanned is 8F version and the value. Cool. Boom, boom, boom. And this is the part I want to see that works. And we're going to the get header tag enumeration. So we have a string. We don't know what our numerator type is. So we're going to go to our map class. Then we know it's a header because we're in a header part. We're parsing only the headers. We only care about the header tag. So we're going to look through the header list. And let's just look at this list. It says the size is huge. Something is wrong. We check the string. The string's not empty. Our map tag string ver says yes, we did find it. Let me check this. Then we can go here. Okay. Our headers tags is 5 header tags, and our header tags are ADA version, created timestamp, program ID, user def. Hey, look, those are all correct. And our record tags are, oh, we have a end of line. That was not supposed to be in there. I got to figure out why that came in there. Does the record tags have end of line? No. Huh. Oops. Oh well. Age and all the ones I coded earlier. Sweet. And that is just a string. And the reason why we're doing maps to strings, because we only know what the string is. The string is being hashed when we do these finds. And we're paying a piper a little bit here. And what is up, old Henry? Y'all are awesome. And call it, oh, Don! I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Don. I didn't see you there. Don says maybe we need to move the chat up in the list. There we go. Bill! Poor Frank is trying to use that dead language C++. Should be learning Rust instead. No, I don't like Rust. It found it in the map. It is our value is 0. We check the map end. We're setting the second, which is the tag enum 0. Boom, boom, return, 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 and boom, we're parsing the header. Look at that. We're doing a thing. It's not erroring. I am going to step out of the function and oh, in the end, we did not return true. Something else is wrong. Well, that's fine. But our header is filled out correctly. We have 2 user-defined tags, user-defined field 1 and user-defined field 2. Sweet! It parsed the header right. I didn't return the right value for something which caused it to not return the right thing. Oh well. My Discord is working. Jeff, I'm not hearing you. You haven't said a thing yet. I don't see you lighting up.
Good afternoon.
There you are,
Third time
Jeff.
saying it.
Yeah, I hear you now. And yep, all the bars are moving. Don says, "I've told Frank before, but I encountered C++ in the beginning when it was set as a program in C." Yeah, yeah. Old us old grumpy programmers here. I did not load the file correctly. I think it's something to do with the end tag. But we are at time today. Hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm going to be probably going down the same path. I like this update refactor that I did. It really cleans up creating tags, and then I can know the properties of these tags just by putting them into this map nicely. I kind of want to make that a function, not function, but that's fine. And how did end of tag? Oh, I had them in the other properties, I think, before. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. I gotta figure that out. But that's it. That is it for now, y'all. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you to my supporters over there on Patreon. Um, y'all are really helping me through this time just with a little bills here and there, and y'all are awesome. And if you want to support me on Patreon, links in the description below. Don is bragging a bit. Converted ADF to JSON and then from JSON to YAML, then do it in the reverse. You know what? That could be a possibility. I need to finish this engine out because I like building engines. This is so much easier to keep up with. And the idea would be anytime a new version's added, the new tags are inserted into this list, the new properties are created. Then in the individual, I do have some seeds here in base here. In the individual spec itself, you list what your deprecated tags are and what they're going to go to. And then we can just loop through what version you were loaded with all the way up to the supported one, and then we can update all the tags. And that's because of all the rain. But I have... Oh, circling. There it goes. I don't know what happened. I dropped out for a second. Yours has not been mowed because of the rain, but I have walked and I have done the floor, so I am going well. And there's going to be some news, maybe another interview getting scheduled. Still trying to work out the details, so we'll see. Y'all are
That's great
awesome.
news.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, y'all. I meant to post this yesterday when I was at the cigar bar, but I forgot. Jason and I were there. We were talking, and I forgot. Next time I'll try to give better notice, and we'll see where the code is when I'm done. I might be parsing full records and doing things with them, so that is fun. And I might have to write another parser later. Y'all, be safe out there, and thanks for hanging out. It means a lot. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.